Hey boo hey, how y'all doing? I hope everybody is well. We are here to talk about day 9 of the Diddy trial, and it was quite a day. We had Kid Cudi testify. We've been waiting on him to testify for a couple of days now. Mia Morales, who is Cassie's, used to be Cassie's stylist. She has styled her for Black and Yellow video, which I did not know that Cassie was in. Shout out to Tisa Tales, who gave us that little tidbit. Well, because that's who I watch. So Tisa told me, y'all know what's about to happen. We also have a guy by the name of Fredrick Lamay, I believe. He is a hotel employee. And then we have Special Agent Josh Cross, who also testified. And then we also have George Kaplan, who happened to be an employee of Diddy's that the prosecution gave immunity to. And listening to his testimony, I'm still trying to figure out why. I don't understand. But let's get into these notes and highlights and try to be as quick as possible, because you know there is more to come. This is going to be an 8 to 10 week trial, so there is a lot to cover still, but let's get into it. Kid Cudi, he did great on the stand today. Actually, it was actually very mind-blowing to hear how cool, calm, and collected that he was. I just wish this was, I wish this was televised. Like, why did they do this to us? Why did they not? But Kid Cudi told a story. He actually told a good story of how everything went down with the whole entire blowing up the car. So apparently the car was blown up with what you call that, a Molotov cocktail, whatever that's called. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know, but isn't that where it's a bottle and there's like some type of paper or material or linen or something that you set on fire and you throw it and then boom, there you go? Well, I think that's what it was, and I think that's what happened, what Diddy did to Kid Cudi's car. You can see they showed the picture, there's a big, huge, giant hole at the top of it where, you know, it went in, and then the inside of the car is just completely burnt out to a crisp. It is horrible. That whole story Kid Cudi told, and it was amazing the way that other people are telling it, so I can only imagine how well he told the story. There are a lot of people, content creators who are doing the transcripts and all of that jazz. I am too broke to be getting the transcripts, so we're going to find them from someone else, and we'll talk about them at another time. But Tisa Tells is definitely going to be doing it this weekend, and that's where I'm going to be. So catch me over there. Anyway, Kid Cudi had an amazing testimony. Tried to get Mark Agnifilio felt like he had a great moment when he got Kid Cudi to admit that, you know, Cassie played him and Diddy. Because he talks about the night that the whole car thing happened, and later on that night, Cassie had came after Diddy had came to his house. You know, Diddy was at his house, and when Kid Cudi got to the house, Diddy was just standing there looking out the window with his hands behind his back. They described it as him being like a supervillain in a Marvel movie or something. You know, that infamous way, you know, they're always looking out the window at above and beyond the glass of the world and all of this, and they're just reflecting on life, and he's just standing there with his arms behind his back trying to look so poised and all of that, like somebody special. Apparently, everyone was laughing in the courtroom when Kid Cudi had described this whole ordeal, and I would have been laughing too, because what? What are you, Diddy? Who do you think you are? I just don't understand, sir. Anyway, let's get on with it. Yeah, so Mark Agnifilio felt like he had one up when he got Kid Cudi to say that, yeah, she did play them both. I don't understand how she did. Did she really? Because she was not with Diddy when she was dating Kid Cudi. The fact that she had went back to him, I don't necessarily think that is such what you would call being played. All right, Cassie was going through some stuff, so I'm really hoping he really didn't feel that she was being played, but I'm sure maybe it just hurt his ego a little bit to see her go back to him, because they were dating for a month, and in Hollywood that's like 3 years, and he was in love with her. They loved each other, so it was what it was. And for her to go back to Diddy just like that, maybe he felt that she didn't love him and he was played like that, but that is not the case, and I hope he realizes that. I hope someone has told him that he realizes that by now. And then Diddy, like, you can't play Diddy either. All of this shit that Diddy is doing, how can you possibly play Diddy? Diddy is playing everybody else. So I don't understand. Mark, like, hang it up, stop it, get a job. Yeah, the whole entire time, Kid Cudi was cool, calm, and collected. He said what he had to say, and he kept it funky. They talked about how Cassie had to call him from a burner phone. He would put her up in, at a different hotel so she could heal and be by herself because she was scared, and all of this stuff. Like, he did a lot for her, when he could. But, obviously it was too much, and dealing with Diddy is, my goodness. Once you blow up my Porsche and you came to my house, he tortured his dog. When he got to the house, the dog was locked in the bathroom, and Kid Cudi does not do that with his dog. Like, Kid Cudi loves his dog. He lets his dog roam free. And, in the prosecution, when they cross-examined, they didn't go too many questions in on the dog, because they probably felt there's probably some dog lovers on the jury, and we don't want to, ruffle their feathers by talking about how Diddy don't really traumatize a freaking dog for whatever reason. It's just unheard of. He is just a monster of all monsters. Like, seriously. So after Kid Cudi had went on, who came on next? The hotel manager. And he's a hotel manager and the IT person, whatever that means. So his testimony, this witness, he was kind of boring. It was more of the technical stuff. It wasn't, the fun, juicy stuff that everybody is here to talk about. But he was talking about the more technical stuff because, we saw the messages and all of that jazz on Diddy's phone. And now we're going to be seeing what is on Cassie's phone and her MacBook. I believe she had a MacBook also. So I guess at some point we're going to be talking about all of the stuff that was found on her computer and her phone besides of what we just seen on Diddy's. So that is where this guy comes into to play. So, and that is Fredrick Lamay, if I'm saying his last name right. Combs Global has been linked to all of this mess, and this is where the RICO charge is coming in. Now, this is slowly but surely coming up to speed, right? So, the first week, we were trying to find out where is this going. We don't see the RICO. You got to understand, again, this is going to be an 8 to 10 week trial. So we are not going to get everything right away. It is going to build. This has layers. There are so many years of so many things and so many people and so many situations. Like, this is going to be a lot. So this week, I do feel, and with this testimony today, it's definitely building up the RICO case that everyone said that is coming into play. So it really looks like it, because when it comes to Combs Global, and we're talking about when we get to George Kaplan, you'll see how all of that is going to get together. All right, but first let's go back. It says Combs Global has been, so like I was saying, Combs Global has been linked to everything. That's the card that Sean has been using to take care of things. When he's not using money, he used the card. He was using the corporate card, which is Combs Global. And if you're using Combs Global, your corporate company card for anything nature to cover up what you did to Cassie and what you did to Gina and what you're doing, period, there is your RICO right there. That's all that it needs to be. Transactions is what counts when there is a RICO. It's not about, like in the movies where there's a whole bunch of pew-pews and a whole bunch of illegal things going on and a whole bunch of bodies on the ground and a whole bunch of blood everywhere and a whole bunch of a lot of madness and, no, that's not what that is. I mean, it sounds fun for the movie, yes, but when it comes to a RICO charge, 1 to 2 transactions, that's it. That's all. It's a RICO. It can be that simple. It can be boring. It's not all glamorous looking like it is in the movie, but this is what the RICO really, really is, all right? So, and I just hope that and if that's the case, if he is found guilty, that means they are going to take everything from him, because everything is connected to Combs Global. He will have nothing to leave to his children. Nothing. It's over. They own their own, JoJo. They are on their own. And that would just be just the most humiliating embarrassment of it all. They called up Cassie's former stylist, Mia Morales. They showed pictures of Cassie's glamour shots from the black and yellow video. She did all the styling for that and everything. And she has an outstanding resume. She's worked with Rihanna as her makeup artist for 13 years. And she's done, she met Cassie in 2016 photo shoot in Brooklyn. And, by her being Cassie's stylist, she met up with Diddy a couple of times because Diddy is controlling. He wants to control Cassie's look. That's how she got the side shaved head. Remember that. And I can't believe it. And I'm rocking it. See, yes, I'm rocking it because Cassie, I love the look. I said, I told my beautician, give me the Cassie. And she did. And I've been rocking it ever since. But anyway, so back to Electra Hand. She worked with Rihanna for 13 years and all this other stuff. So then we're talking about the party. Prince's party. Everyone's talking about Prince's party. That is happening and going on. We are at Prince's party. So they went to Prince's party. Mia and Cassie went to Prince's party. And I guess Cassie didn't tell Diddy that she was going. She just went, I guess. But Diddy, he ended up showing up. I don't know if he showed up just to be there or if he showed up because Cassie was there, but Cassie was shook a booty. And as soon as she saw him, she left. And I believe Mia also left with her. And they went back to Cassie's apartment. And they were chilling, doing their thing, and they were just chilling, doing their thing. Until later on that night, after everything, Diddy shows up, kicks in the door, waving the full flow type deal. All right. And so he's asking for Cassie. He's like, where the f is she? Like, aggressive. Be aggressive. Be aggressive. And she was. And so he goes into the back room where Cassie was, and Mia testifies that she hears yelling and screaming and all of this commotion going on. And Diddy comes out, storms out the room and out the apartment, and he doesn't look like he has a bruise, not a nothing on him. She goes to check in on Cassie. Cassie has a swollen eye, busted lip, knots on her face, like all of this stuff. And Mia has never witnessed this before. This was her first time, and she was shook. She was scared. She was scared for her own safety at this point. So she grabbed a suitcase, she grabbed Cassie, and they went to her house. She only lived like 5 minutes away. They were only at Cassie's because I don't know why they went to Cassie in the first place. They should have went straight to her house. But they went to Cassie's and whatever. So they get back to her house. They go to sleep, wake up, and Cassie's even worse. Like, just completely worst. And so Mia's like, yo, we got to get you to the hospital. We have to get you to the hospital. And she did not want to go. So Mia ended up calling up a doctor friend to come and check up on Cassie. Bless her heart. And she checked her out, and yeah, because she looked worse than she did the night before when she woke up. And she thought she might have had a concussion. And the doctor friend also checked her stomach and her ribs, because you know how Diddy loves to kick and shout and let it all out, right? So there you have that. Cassie stayed for 2 days to heal and get her shit together. The defense started asking, cross-examining, talking about, did you talk about it? Why didn't you talk about it? And all of this other stuff. Did you ever mention it? Did Diddy ever mention it? Like, was it a big deal? Must have not been a big deal type thing. But, you know, like, who's going to keep bringing that up? Cassie don't want to be reminded of that shit. She's embarrassed. She's humiliated. Why would she? And Mia being a good friend, no, she's not going to bring that up. She saved her. She's not going to start bringing that up. Like, what type? Mark, like, oh my God. You are just the worst. But I guess he's doing his job. But, oh my gosh, you're the worst. Period. Talk about, you know, why didn't you fill out a police report and all that. They're trying to disassociate from this, okay? This isn't the first time for Cassie. She is trying to just stop and get over it because she knows she can't leave this man. What is she going to do? You people really act. No one cares that the fact that this man is just beating on her. You worry about more of why she ain't left. I don't understand it. This world is so fucked up and flipped upside down. So after her defense, she did what she was supposed to do. All that stuff. They're trying to make her feel bad for, you know, her photos and doing her interviews and all of this stuff. Like, what do you expect me to do? So after she was done, they left her alone. And then Fredrick Lamay was back up. And he talked about how he did all the he tells that all the reservations were all in one. That's a big deal. That's something. Because that means that one account paid for everything on something. And that was on the Combs Global credit card. There's your racketeering also. There's your RICO right there. Right there. Right there. And it was linked to Orion Lopez at 1440 Broadway, New York. And KK approved all of this. His assistant, and word on the curb is KK flipped, and she is going to be a witness for the prosecution. Woo! When she get up there, oh, it's a riggedy rap for him. It is over for him. He also says that they would make Diddy pay $1,000 to clean up because there was always misplaced furniture, candle wax, and baby oil everywhere. I mean, you see the two workers in the video when they came with that big black bin to the end of the hall to get what they needed to get. And they say that they would take pictures of it. Like, they hated when Diddy was coming. They did not like Diddy. Like, the workers was not cool with him. So they took pics and everything. And I also talked about that Gina. She has been at the freak offs as well, too. That was put up in there. Next was the special agent Josh Cross. He testified about the Cassie's MacBook and cell phone, all the techno stuff, decoders, and all of this stuff. And the whole point of him was when the defense was trying to, you know, see if he could get him to say something like he tampered with, or the video was crypted or something like that, because they want to say that this isn't the original video and this forth and so on. No, honey, this is what it is. This is what it is. All right. Not sure if they're gonna call him back up or not, but I guess the point of them calling him up so he could say this, because he said this, they can now implement this into evidence, and so now it can be brought up and be talked about and be viewed and be part of the case. So this MacBook and this cell phone is going to come back up, all right? So that's what this is about. And then at the end, we have the weirdo witness, George Kaplan. Now, from the way he was talking, you would think he was there for the defense. But apparently, I don't know why. It just doesn't make sense to me why the prosecution gave this man immunity to speak. But he spoke, and what he spoke on was he testified that he loved working for Diddy, taught him how to be a man. How, Sway? How? But he went on to say, Diddy showed him this world that he never had. It's like a world beyond his world, dream beyond his dreams. He, pushed him to his best capacity of working and all of this stuff. Like, he was just giving Diddy all of this praise, all of this praise, all of this praise. But on the other hand, he was telling it how it is also, but he was still creepy. I don't get it. It's like he wanted to try to make sure he was cool with Diddy after he told on Diddy. Who knows? But the thing was, he said he testified loved working for him, and he was a god among men. Those were his actual words, a god among men. He carried cash for Diddy, went to Western Union for him, thousands at a time. That's something. That is something, because why are you going to credit unions for Diddy and bringing it back to him? What is this? So that's to be explained further too. He would pick it up on Combs Enterprise and gave it to Diddy. What's that about? He said he knew Cassie, Gina, and Kim. He said that Cassie and Gina were like the girlfriends, but Kim he treated with so much more respect than the other girls. You were cheating on her with them. So what? What? She was scared for her life just as much. So what? And where is she now? That's love? Yeah, that's respect? Okay, sure. And I feel like it's really messed up that, they're even allowing him to speak on Kim like this, because Kim is not here to defend the relationship between them. And I think that is just absolutely wrong. He witnessed how he talks about how he witnessed violence in 2015 with Diddy on a private jet, where he said he was just sitting at a jet picnic table, and the whole entire commotion between Diddy and Cassie started happening. He saw that he had a broken whiskey rock glass. All right, those motherfuckers ain't to be played with, and he was ready to hit, chuck, whatever with it at Cassie, and Cassie's just shielding herself, screaming in defense. Like, you guys don't see this. Like, she's actually saying this. Like, you guys don't see this. You guys aren't going to do anything. Nobody did nothing. Everybody on that entourage of his that was on that Jane did absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Poor Cassie. Like, poor Cassie. I swear. He is the worst for all of this stuff. And she's just trying to defend herself. Like, really. But yeah, she was like, is anyone seeing this? Is anyone going to do anything? But, George testified that, he had never seen Diddy so angry before, and he just saw everyone look away and nobody helped her. So the violence was actually a big thing to George, and he didn't like it. So eventually he ended up leaving. He thanked Diddy for a great opportunity and all that, but he ended up leaving. He said he just couldn't take it. That was just too much. He talks about a club appearance in Las Vegas in December 2015 also, where Cassie was all bruised up and everything, and he wanted him to pick up some things from CVS to take to Cassie to go fix her face, to take the swelling down and everything. And guess what he used? Combs Global Credit Card. Okay. They also even insinuated at one point that maybe Cassie was the one who blew up Kid Cudi's car. They really tried it. However, Kid Cudi did admit that Diddy later down the line apologized for it. Well, not for it, but he just said, I'm sorry for the way I was, whatever. He didn't say specifically, I'm sorry for burning up the porch, because back in real time, when he asked him, when he was standing in his house with his hands behind his back looking out the window, he asked him, like, my Porsche, we ain't cool, my Porsche. He was like, what Porsche? Yeah, Diddy's that type of motherfucker. Yeah, so they're just trying to create reasonable doubt in Kid Cudi, period, but that's not gonna fly. But back to this guy who was just so grateful to work for Diddy, but his dad got sick, and that's why another reason why he left. He had to go, and that was just too much for him. He also talked about how he witnessed Diddy throwing apples at Gina. Now, we don't know if they're decorative apples or real apples, but there was a time where he was just chucking apples at Gina, whether if they're decorative or not. Those things hurt if they pack a punch, if you throw with force. You know, it's going to hurt. So, that part. What else went on? He confided in KK, talked about the violence and all of that, and KK was disappointed as well. She was not really down with all of that, and so we know that KK has flipped, and she is going to be speaking. It's going to happen. KK is his Ghislaine Maxwell, if you will, to Epstein. Yeah, that part. Only I don't think that they ever, were intimate. Who knows? So we mean something, Okay. All right. We don't know that part. But he also told, they brought up Capricorn a lot, and Capricorn is set to testify also. We're thinking something probably Tuesday. They should be flying her out a lot. They have been bringing up her name a lot, so I am sure Capricorn will be testifying at some point. She will be called to witness on Tuesday. But this guy, that's why he's weird. I mean, you say all of this, but all at the same time, damn near serenading his name and talking like he was making a Camelot. Like, and it's just all of this, like he's just this amazing human being or something. It was really quite weird. Like, really, really weird. Yeah, he spoke to her about the violence. PD says it was inspirational to him, growing up as a man. He kept going back and forth. He made sure that he gave Diddy his props in between, letting them know how bad of a monster Diddy is and all of that good stuff. But it was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, but the man is giving really single black male. Like, really. It really, really is. However, he got physical with Cassie. He could not keep it. Kid Cudi called Diddy, "You in my house." Okay, we went through that already. We talked about Brian trying to minimize the questions about the dog in case there were jurors there. Also, when Kid Cudi had got to the house and Diddy was there, had the dog locked in the room and everything. Also, it was around Christmas time, and he had gifts for people. All of the gifts were open. He didn't steal them, but he opened the gifts. I thought that was really strange, rude. That was pretty effing rude. But the poor dog is traumatized, for goodness sake. Yeah, so, yeah, that's basically it. Oh, he also offered Kid Cudi water twice, and Kid Cudi refused both times. And when Cassie showed up later, that's why Kid Cudi was disappointed that she was back with Diddy, and that's why he felt that, he was played. So that is basically everything that had happened and went on for day 9. And, hey, we will see what happens Tuesday. There is no court tomorrow. I guess there won't be on Monday because it is a holiday. And Tuesday, court will resume as follows. And we are expected to hear from Capricorn and who knows who else. But it is getting down to it. The RICO case is being made. It is happening. And also, we're going to talk about the transcripts. If you watch Tisa Tells, she's going to be doing them. That's where I'll be to get the information. So we will talk more, and I will see you, Cassie Kittens, on the other side. Next video. Mwah.